Joins me now. So, former Congresswoman Mia Love, what do you think? What do you think of the deal? Do you think Republicans got the upper hand here, or the President Biden did? What do you think?
I think the American people got the upper hand.
So you're
because
like
it was
Speaker
actually
McCarthy
done. No. What the reason we're here, and it's a good thing that we're actually getting this done. And the reason why we are here is because both parties have acknowledged that we cannot default on our debt. We cannot. We have to keep the commitment that we made to our creditors, our veterans, our seniors. Mm-hmm. That's the reason why we're here, because both parties have acknowledged that we cannot allow this to happen. Now, we do have a spending problem, and both parties need to acknowledge that in order for us to actually work on them. I've seen the budget over and over and over again. When I was in Washington, I couldn't believe how many programs, duplicate programs there were, programs that weren't working, programs that were just, it didn't make any sense to me why we weren't tackling some of those and we were spending as much. Social Security is going to be insolvent.
Going to be insolvent in 7 or 8 years, yeah.
According to the CBO, we have to do something about that.
What do you think of the deal?
No, first of all, we had Congressman Dusty Johnson on earlier, and I thought that his remark that there was nothing in there, no Democratic wins at all, I just thought that was laughable. I mean, the fact is we elected President Biden to go into rooms like this, be an adult in a room full of kindergartners and be able to bring people together. And that's what he did. He went in and got a deal done. Democrats get a 2-year reprieve. And for all the talk about work requirements, I mean, there was not a lot of juice for that squeeze from Republicans. The fact is we've excluded veterans, we've excluded the homeless from these work requirements. We've only raised the age limit from 49 to 54 for those individuals without children.
Right, it's able-bodied individuals without dependents.
Without children.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a whole lot of juice for the squeeze from the Republican Party. And so I think that this is a win, and the spending doesn't change, and non-defense spending doesn't change. And so when you look at all of these things, for American people, they're going to be like, I don't understand half of the things that are going on in this debate. However, I do know if we default, the stock market's going to go down. Right. Things are going to get more difficult for my pocketbook. I'm going to see my investments plummet. And Joe Biden went in there and got it done, and I'm not going to see that happen.
So, Scott, there are a lot of conservatives who are upset about it. Congressman Ken Buck called it a debt ceiling surrender. Congressman Ralph Norman said it was insanity. Congressman Bob Good tweeted, no one claiming to be a conservative could justify a yes vote. What do you think?
Welcome to divided government. I mean, that position is not tenable because Republicans don't control everything, just like Joe Biden's position that he held for months and months, that I will not negotiate and I will do nothing but a clean debt ceiling. That's why this is ultimately a big win for Kevin McCarthy and the Republicans, because where the president started and where he wound up today, miles apart, he had to come towards Kevin McCarthy, and there are a great checklist of things that any Republican could be happy with. One other issue, defense spending. I'd heard some concerns among maybe people over in the Senate about what was going to happen to defense spending, but because of the big increase in baseline defense in the Omni in December, I think they can live with it. It's going to get a lot of votes.
What do you think? A lot of progressives feel like they got sold down the river. What do you think?
Well, I think it's important to note that also Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, all staying safe, not being touched at all. I think the Republicans' obsession with work requirements are offensive to poor people, assuming that people want to be poor and don't have the fight inside of them to work hard. It's offensive, and I think it will ultimately come a backlash. But I think the way that they were able to negotiate and protect veterans, people who are homeless, is really important. I also think, though, is Kevin McCarthy going to be able to get it done in his caucus? I mean, we were all sitting here at 2 a.m. in the morning seeing if he can get speaker votes, and we weren't sure what concessions he made. And so can he hold his caucus together, or is he going to have to rely on Democrats yet again so that our country doesn't default?